One of the things I hate the most about MMA is the fact that there's so many misogynists that are in this sport. And that goes from the athletes to the fans too. And I know many men don't speak on these type of topics, or they don't know enough to speak on these topics, but it is something that irritates me tremendously. When I got up this morning, I saw a clip from Jack O'Hara TV. He did an interview with Tracy Cortez, and if you're not familiar with her, she's the number 8 ranked flyweight in the women's division in the UFC. And in that video, she talks about her childhood and how some of the cultural restrictions that she grew up with led her down to like rebellious habits. I'm going to stitch part of the interview into here so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Having a traditional Hispanic background, both parents are Mexicans, your ass, it needs to be in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. You need to cook, clean, and we'll be back. We're going to go to sports and wrestle. And I just kind of would sit there like, well, why can't I be with them? You know, I didn't understand. So I started rebelling. I want to say maybe in 7th grade. I started smoking weed, doing drugs. I was ditching school. I was hanging out just with the wrong people. Yeah. I was getting drive-bys, getting shot at right here, just not far from here in Maryville.
Now, watching that, I wasn't surprised because she said that she's a child of 2 Mexican immigrants. And as a Haitian American, I understand that that can also be the same expectation for women in our culture and many different cultures. And I just have empathy for that because it is unfortunate. Women are more than homemakers. They're more than people to cook for us. They're people that have dreams, you know, interests and all that. And a lot of times they're relegated to just, no, you have to cook and clean. That's it. We don't care about your personality, which I've hated that since I was a little kid. There is no persuading me different because I've had these opinions for my whole life. But the thing that really was irritating and what I find vile is the comments. And I'll show you guys. And these are most of the comments. She's for the streets, Ortega knew it. Girls who live like this have been with every dude around town. She got passed around. Then dudes talking about her body count. And people are saying that Brian Ortega didn't fumble her. Whether he did or didn't, I don't really care. That's not the point. And everything is just talking about what they think her sexual history is. And yeah, majority of the comments were just like this. And usually I don't comment on videos like this on YouTube, but you know, I would rather at least use my voice for something different than to say nothing. So I'm just like, it's weird that all these comments are talking about her getting passed around. It's very odd behavior. And instead of acknowledging that when you restrict women from being able to do things just because they're women, it will create rebellious behaviors, especially if they're watching their older brothers or younger brothers do exactly what they want to do with no restrictions. Women are more than homemakers. I just think it's so odd that people really just look at women as property and don't want to acknowledge that they have personalities just like us. And it's honestly unfortunate, and I see it a lot as just being a man, and especially within a male-dominated sport like MMA, where people are, you know, tougher. They have more of this like traditional mindset. MMA is heavily right-winged as well, and I can go into that later as someone who's constantly on the mats. But I just hate it all. Like, I don't like it because I have so many women in my family that I care about that I would love to see them have had the chance to do what they want to do. When you talk to some of the older women in your family and you find out that they had all these passions, but they weren't able to do it, it breaks my heart a little bit because I care about them. Not just as, oh, you cook me food. It's like I care about you as a person. And I feel like men just, not all men, but a lot of men don't see women as real people. And I don't know, it's just something that is frustrating, and it's always frustrated me because they are people and they should be allowed to explore whatever the same way we're able to. Men have privileges that women don't. And I don't know, some men might say that I'm pandering, or may not even get to this part of the video because I'm talking positively about women, but I don't really care. It's not pandering. It's being able to have empathy and being smarter than a box of rocks. All right, I don't promote this right-wing, male-centered mentality. If anything, it's me-centered, JP St. Louis-centered, but not because I'm a male, just because I think everything should be revolved around me. But probably have that because I'm a man too. It's easier for me to think about myself. But I don't know, man. Men got to do better. A lot better.